Okay, I hit the record button now. Let's fix my chat window back so I can see. All right. Happy Friday. Welcome to Time Warp Art. And we're going to doodle this time. Yeah, poor Fluffy. I know. Yeah, so, okay, so I'm going to show y'all Fluffy because I forgot last week. And I'm going to show y'all the oatmeal canister again so it can get in the video because it was forgotten. I mean, I forgot to hit the record button last week. Good morning, Eileen. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Dixie. I don't know if that's your name or not, but I'm going to call you Dixie because it's easier. I want everything to remember. Hello, Sunset Carol. Hello, Gay B. So, all right. This is the oatmeal canister that I covered. I think it was mid-January stream, I do believe. And here's the lid that comes right off. It's the lid. I thought it was a lid from the cream cheese, but that's not what this is. But it's approximately that size, except this is just a tad bit bigger than the cream cheese lid. So it's a little looser when it fits on here. So you can see my coffee cup lids. Just reach in and grab. See? Just reach in and grab. That's what they look like. They're Dixie coffee cup lids. And instead of a mug, which gets too hot, I like the Dixie insulated cups. I can use one all day, just rinse it out between coffee. So, we're good. So anyhow, this is a coffee container that did get finished. So there we are. All right, so I've done that. Let me put that down somewhere. How about the floor? Yeah, good enough. All right, let me show you Fluffy. Fluffy now lives in a box, okay, and you'll see why in a second. Here's Fluffy. Whee! Huh? Okay, I gotta read this in the chat. Hang on. Eileen says, "Where is Jean? It was so funny asking her while she saved tops from coffees she buys when she travels." I did not see that. I didn't know she asked that. Was that last time? I was so in the zone last time and so scattered because I had such technical difficulties getting on that I didn't see that. That's funny. Okay. Anyway, here is Fluffy. And Fluffy's very full. Fluffy lives in a box now. No room on the shelf. You see, it won't close. This is as small as it gets right now. And it's only half full of stuff. I've got all kinds of things in here. I've got stuff that you guys have sent me. I've got, it's a smash book. I'm, using it as a smash book. And these are what we made when smash books first came out. And everybody says, oh, I'm not going to pay for a smash book, yada, yada, yada. And everybody was trying to make their own. And this was watching Tangy on YouTube. And, it got really, really fluffy. And so the name kind of stuck. So there we go. There's Fluffy. All right, here's her cover. Whoops, I'm bumping into the... Let me move this cube for a second. There's the cover. I just put a piece of DCWV scrapbook paper on that and on the back as well. It was kind of a Twilight themed paper. I can't remember what it was called now. And some packing tape to reinforce the spine. So that's all I did there. But you can see how very, very full she is. Yes, and it's only half full of stuff. Yeah. So you see, I started out painting pages. Yeah, see, I started out painting pages, and I got tired of painting pages, so then I went with Tangy's original inking the pages and just get finished. That's what my deal was. Just get through. Okay, so that's the Fluffy saga. Camera. Oh dear. Should I take off autofocus? Maybe that would help. Okie dokie. Yes, close up of the tangles. Okay, oh, now we got it. All right, let's see. Come on now, behave. Let me see if I can take off the autofocus. And morning, Dana. let's see. Where did my camera go? Oh, I've switched my my taskbar is now on the left instead of across the bottom, and I'm always looking for things on the bottom. I just did that yesterday, so it's kind of new. Okay, let me see if I can turn off autofocus without messing anything up. Options, autofocus, off. Okay, let's try that and see if that will be okay. All right, let me put that down, get it out of the way of the chat window. Okie dokie. Yay. All right, let me put Fluffy back in his box. And away she goes. Onto the floor because there's no desk space in here. Okay, and while we're doing show and tell, this is the Documented Life Project journal. Okay, cover is done for now. I will probably collage on it later, but I've got 2 coats of varnish on it right now, and I use the same varnish that Dee Dee does. The don't knock the bottle over. The Delta Ceram Coat Varnish. I use this too. I like this stuff too. It's nice. And I've got 2 coats of that on there. And for traveling, you know, it's going to work well. I won't worry about messing it up. So I'll probably add stuff later. But as you can see, it's got lots of stuff in it. I haven't added too much artwork since last Friday because I've been a little busy. And I haven't done anything else to it, so there's really nothing to show you there. So I'm going to put this away. And thanks, Eileen. So what we're going to do is doodle. But we're not just going to doodle. We are going to see how many things we can play with doodles. I've been kind of wandering around the internet. I'm going to leave this up here to focus because the camera doesn't like white paper. And without the autofocus, we seem to be doing okay. Yes. All right. What I keep in my purse, that's what I'll show you right now. Oh, got that pen. Don't get lost. I'll throw it over there. Okay, so what I keep in my purse, I keep one of these little books that I've, decorated the cover a little bit in my front pocket of my purse. I have a little backpack purse, and it's a bit small, so I'm going to have to go back and see if I can't get another one that's maybe a little bit bigger, or put in a request for him to make them a little bit bigger. Anyway, I do, faces and take notes and, whatever. But this is always in my purse. It's a little Moleskine Kahir. I think they come 3 to a pack, something like that. But it's light, and it's got nice paper, and it's stitched. So, I'm not worried about it coming apart or anything. So that's always in my purse, and so is this little guy right here. This little plastic case is not a CD case. It's one of the iOmega zip disk cases. And why I kept these, I really don't know, but I have about a half a dozen. And I'm hoarding them because I don't know if you can get them anymore. I really don't. I'm going to have to look that up. Hi, Jean. So this is what stays in my purse. Now, I keep this finished one in there because people are asking me, what are you doing? So then I can show them. So I keep a pack of ATC-sized papers, and this is Bristol paper from, let me grab the tablet. It's easier. Strathmore. And I get it at Hobby Lobby with coupons, of course. So Strathmore, Bristol. Let me see if I got stuff in the way in the front there. There. This is what I buy. This is what I tangle on. This is what I do most of my pen and ink drawing on. This, and then there's, of course, Stonehenge paper also. Although with Stonehenge paper, I have to mail order that from Dick Blick's. I don't have a local source for that. But I love the Bristol. It's very nice. So anyway, I keep extra sleeves because sometimes I give them away while I'm, while I'm out. And so I keep little extra sleeves in there for that purpose. And like I said, that one ATC stays in there. I have little golf pencils, my and IKEA pencils. See, IKEA pencils. You know how you end up with those in your purse? You know, when you go to IKEA, you just throw them in your purse because you're tired of carrying them? Yeah, that's how they end up in my bag. And one little paper stump, okay, for blending the shadows. So, this stays in my purse, along with a miniature version of the Tangle Guide. Okay, I also have this size of a Tangle Guide, printed. I mean, she does it on, regular paper, but when you open the PDF and you print it, if you say booklet, you get the booklet size. Okay, now this is last year's. I haven't done this year's. I haven't printed this year's yet. I have it, but I haven't printed it yet. So this was last year's. And I can't remember how I got this one. Yeah, I don't remember how I did it, but here it is. I mean, it's tiny, and I will remember eventually. I may have made a note to myself in the computer file, so I'll have to look at that because I didn't have a physical journal at that point for writing in. So we'll see. Anyway, this stays in my bag, and I'm probably going to need to reference this in a second. Having a hard time putting things down. No space. Okay, so one more thing. Let me grab out of my file cabinet. This is, okay, now I've got to move the block. I've got 3 of those, by the way. This is all of the tangles printed in the guide. Of course, this was printed full size, and I cut them apart. But this is the little coin collector sheets that you get, little plastic coin collector sheets that you can get. Of course, with a coupon at Hobby Lobby. I sound like a Hobby Lobby commercial today. But anyway, I've organized them in the little coin pockets. And yes, I did cut squares of scrapbook paper to go in between them. It's just neater. It looks, it looks tidier when they're done this way. And this is so much fun to show people. It's really fun to show people because they go, "You did all that?" And well, yeah, I put it together. I did all the cutting, but no, I did not tangle each square. I took it from the I printed it and took it from the guide. I knew I was not going to have time to do all these tangles for this book, so I just did it and got it done. So now I have to update this with this year's too. So I don't know how I'm going to print that out, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Okay, so what we're going to do today, this is a regular, or it's a regulation size, 3.5-inch square. And no, I'm not frozen. You might go ahead and refresh. Let's see. Oh, and I've done bracelets. I'll go ahead and put that on so I don't use it. Anyway, bracelets. I think I showed you guys how to do this at one point. I'll probably do it again, but that's for now. All right. So what I like to use is, let me just grab a couple of these. Okay, microns. Okay, by Sakura. I also like to use the Faber-Castell pit pens. I am really liking the pit pens. They are becoming my favorite quickly. I used to use microns for everything, but the microns seem to run out a lot faster than they used to. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not happy. So I've been using a lot more of the pit pens. So that's what I'm going to use today is Pitt pen. So if you have scraps of stuff laying around, we're going to use scraps of stuff. And if I can find my circle punch, right behind me, I am going to use that. And I have some ATC that I cut out. I did not round the corners on those. I may or may not, you know, whatever. I've also gotten to where I will take my tangles. Matter of fact, I think this one might be in this cube. Let's see. No, there it is, right there. Is that it? No, that's not it. I thought it was. Okay, well, anyway, I take the regulation size tangle, and I try to scan everything, you know, or take pictures at least. And so I've enlarged it, and I can use this in my artwork for, you know, whatever. Matter of fact, this is what I used for my bead tools, and these didn't get in the video last time either because I forgot to turn the record button on. But see, I make paper like this, and then I make my bead rolling tools, my paper bead rolling tools. I'm getting ready for a show in less than 3 weeks, so these are all ready to go. I just need to package them and put them in their dealies. But you can see what some of them look like. Keep the glare off of them there. But yes, it's rolled paper. And thingies on the end. I like to use the jewels. Those work out really well. And then just for some fun, I found some cute cupcakes, little decorations. They're not buttons. They're just stick-on things. So I've stuck those on with resin. So there we are. And anyway, these are going to be in the show, Fiberfest in Dallas. Oh, Irving, actually, technically. So anyway, that's what I did this for originally. So I have this piece left. So I thought we might play with something with that later, if I have time. Okay, so what I was going to do is, you know how when you cut... Oh, where's my stencil now? Okay, here it is. Alright, so what I've done is I've taken some plastic packaging, and I know you can't see this unless let's see if I can get the light. There we go. Okay, so there's pieces here. There's pieces of it. So I'm making myself stencils. Okay, so here's there we go. Here's the hole punch, the whole thing right there. Okay, and then I'm making bites. Okay, it's kind of like bites out of this one. So there's two, and then I've got the pieces from those to trace around. So in journaling, I figure I can use these to trace around. So right now, I want this one. And if I use spray inks, they'll eventually not be clear, and then I can see them. That's why hunting for them becomes a challenge. Okay, my computer's popping up an error box. Go away. It was not really an error. Okay, computer's playing with me. All right, so what I did was take a piece of packaging and punch this 3-inch scallop out of it. So now what I want to do is I want to take a pencil and pick a spot, just wherever. That's good enough. And I'm going to give myself an outline. I'm not going to trace the whole thing, but I'm going to do the scallops so I can stay in the circle while I'm doodling. So I'm just going to trace the outline. Oops, with the pencil, which will get erased later. Okay, so I can stay inside the lines. Okay, now, oh, on the background, of course, is dilution spray inks. Okay, so taking your pen, whichever one you want to use, really doesn't matter at this point. Whichever. Let's do, I'm just opened a page and I'm just going to pick one. Okay, so let's do, none of those are hitting me. Let's try the page over. Okay. Oh, let's do Diva Dance. All right, let's do Diva Dance. That's a cool one. Okay, so Diva Dance. All right, so that's this one right here. Oh, I forgot. Or don't have autofocus on. Never mind. That's Diva Dance. Anyway, right there. Okay, so is that. So if there's different versions of Diva Dance, but it's a cool, very cool tangle. All right, so I'm going to try to do that in here. So I am just going to pick, oh, hello, writing would be good. I'm just going to pick an area to get started and just start making my lines. Okay, and you can make them as wavy or not. It doesn't really matter. It's totally up to you what you want to do. Diva Dance is kind of a free, very free tangle. So I'm going to leave it in that section there, and then I can start filling in. Of course, y'all aren't going to sit here and watch me fill in the whole thing, so that's fine. But anyhow, you get the idea of what you can do, and you fill in your various areas with your Diva Dance. Okay. And you can pick another area, and let's just do some quick stripes in this one. We won't pick a tangle. We'll just do some doodling and do stripes. And if you get a little outside your lines, that's okay because we're going to punch this out anyway. So you can do even stripes, uneven stripes. You can change direction, and yes, move your papers around. And you can start doing, you know, whatever you want. Just do some echo circles or echo arches. And you don't even have to stay, you know, like I said, you don't have to stay in your lines. You can switch pens and do a thicker, have a thicker line. So I'm going to put some circles over here. I'm going to try to do them real quick, guys. I know I don't want to sit here and watch me tangle all day, even though that can be fun. I'm just going to do this real quick, try to get it done. And let's see, let's do some zigzags over here. And we're going to go with some stripy lines over here. I'm not going to color anything in, although I probably would normally. Then I'm just going to do something like that and put some dots in it. Put some dots over there, because that's an arch as well. Now let's see, what can we do over here? Let's do a, oh, let's put a ribbon in. Let's put a ribbon in. I like to put a ribbon in. Okay, so here's a ribbon. Okay, there's a ribbon. And I am going to fill this in because it's fun. And I know, guys, I am very late with my birthday cards. I kind of made a resolution to do birthday cards for everyone this year. Trying, but I'm behind already, of course. I will catch up. It may be 6 months, but I will catch up. Won't be that long. You know how hard it is for me to make cards. Oh my goodness. Making cards, I don't know why that's so hard for me. No idea. Okay, and I'm just gonna follow the ribbon apparently. See what we can do. Make some little stitch lines. And you know, you guys can also use rubber stamps. there are rubber stamps that kind of look like doodles. Let me grab my box here. Oh, avalanche on the floor. Okay, that's all right. Not a problem. Okay, so the ones that look like doodles, okay, you can use this. There's one. There's another. Oh, you get the idea. Okay, I've got several, but you get the idea. I keep my big stamps in my in a little basket from the dollar store. Really nice little thing. And they will stack on top of each other, so that's really cool. So anyway, you can use these. What you do is you can mask off your area and use your background stamps. I know you guys have stamps, so this will hurry something up if you really want to, you know, zoom in. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me try that since I took the autofocus off. Good idea. Let me try that. Now I've got to find the. There it is. Alrighty. Let's see if we can zoom in on the paper. How's that, guys? All right. Maybe that's a little bit better, huh? You can kind of see. Okay. All right. Now. Okay, so anyway, you can fill in your background faster if you want to. Okay, so I was using the big pen. Now let me change to the smaller one again. And I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do some lines across the scallops. Oops. Okay. Just draw some lines across the scallops. Over here. And let me draw some on this one. I'm trying to stay in the camera but not get my hand in the way so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully that's working. Okay, you can do some, let's do some little circles. Spirals, that's what they are, spirals. Need to hold the pen straight up. The angle is not working too well. I think it's probably because I'm on the white acrylic paint. So you can do some of this kind of thing. You can do some just lines. I'm not trying to do any official tangles right now other than, you know, what I've already done. So I'm just going to doodle quickly. Try to get this done. I'm going to make some little like snakes. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it around and finish this side over here with the bigger pen. And of course, you can always use white as well to enhance your piece. Oh, what do I want to do? I have no idea. None at all. So I think I'm just going to make a linked area right here. Linked circles. Get my hand out of the way. Okay, like that. And normally I would be, you know, coloring in and filling in and, you know, doing all of, you know, this kind of thing. Okay. I do a lot of miniature details and stuff. I'm trying to do it big for you guys. Try to hurry up. Okay, so now I'm going to do some, speaking of big, I'm going to do some like teardrops just to be done. We just want to get finished here real quick. Because I want to punch this out so you guys can see what it looks like. And put it on a journal page, which is where I was going with this, by the way. Okay, we're done. All right, we're going to call that one done. Okay, so then I'm going to turn my punch over so I can see what I'm doing. And stick this in here. And see if I can't line it up correctly. Why is that not lining up? That is so odd. Okay, here we go. User error. There. Got it, finally. Okay. All right, so here is my scallop circle. Okay, let me grab a journal. I'm going to have a lot of stuff in it. This is my, this is my class journal from Diane Reevely, where we did all the spraying and stuff. So, okay, here, let's open it to this page. Now, I know you guys aren't going to be able to see the whole page, but if I put that on a journal page, here, let's put this over here with her. Okay, so if you stick this on a journal page, you can see what else you can do with it. So if this is like a big flower, say this was a flower stem, we'll pretend that's a flower stem and she's standing behind it. So what you can also do is when you stick that down, you can doodle around it to make it blend in with the page. Okay, you can do all kinds of shapes. You don't have to punch anything. You can use die cuts, you can use punches, you can cut freehand, you know, whatever you want to do. As you can see, this page isn't finished yet, but you get the idea, you know, how to use these. All right, so if you have scraps, like this was, you know, an aside from a page. I cut something off of here. It was a full-size sheet and I cut something off, so you can do stuff like this with that. So there's an idea for you. Use your doodles. Okay, let's see what else we can play with. All right, let's play with some stencils and the doodles. So let me grab, let me see. Here, let's grab this tag. Let's play with the tag. Everybody plays with tags. I know there's a whole sheet, but since I've got it zoomed in, let's play with a tag instead. Okay, so this is one of the tags that, oops, avalanche back there, that comes in the Prima doll pad. So this goes with the doll stamps, the Julie Nutting doll stamps. Okay, so you know, you get this big old pad of tags. Okay, so this is one of those guys. Okay, so what you can do is make a book out of it. All right, so you fold it in half and you can make a book. Then you just put your paper on the inside. Just pretend this is folded pieces of paper and we're making a book. Okay, pretend they're the right size, but you get the idea. Okay, so you want to decorate the cover of that, say. Okay, so what you want to do, you can take stencils, and I'm going to grab, I just got this yesterday. Okay, this is, oh gosh, you can't see it. I forgot I got this camera zoomed in. Oh well, let me just slide it up and down. This is a Julie Fay-Femme Balzer stencil, and I cut it. Okay, so there was big hearts on one side and the smaller hearts on the other side. And for convenience of use, since I knew I wasn't going to stencil the whole 12 by 12 just as it is, so I cut the smaller hearts apart, and I think I'm going to cut this and reinforce it with duct tape just to be able to put them into my, let me show you that. I've got this fixed yesterday. Oh, into my stencil book, which all it is 2 8x8 pieces of chipboard, some 7 gypsies binding rings, the ones that have the little screw thing on it. They're that wire stuff, and Ziploc bags. Now the Ziploc bags are the freezer bags. Ziploc freezer. Oh, oops, sorry, forgot I just camera again. So Ziploc freezer bags. They're taller and thicker and a little bit wider than the sandwich bags, the regular sandwich bags. So this is what I'm keeping my stencils in. And as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of Tim Holtz ones in here. Got all in there. Keeping those together right now because there's so many of them that it's I've got so many stencils now. I just went stencil nuts. But this is what I'm keeping all of my stencils in. These are the Diane Reevely ones. This is some I made myself. That I got at Hobby Lobby. This is a Hero Arts, I think. And of course I've got them front and back, but I can't show you the whole thing right now because of the camera. And then of course Crafters Workshop, you know, on and on and on. In the whole, you know, the whole book is just full of this kind of thing. Okay, so all of my small ones are here, and I prefer the small ones. It's just easier. And a tip on punching the holes. Oh, and also before I do that, I've cut the seal, what do you call it? The top seal of the Ziploc bags. So now I have a ton of these tops that I cut off, and I've got to do something with them. I can't just throw them away. I will figure something out. Anyway, I had to cut them off because it was making the book too thick. It was really bulky up at the top where all the tabs, you know, the seals were. So I cut them off. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Yes, Julie's class is at 5 Eastern, 4 Central today. Yes, after Barb. Yay! All right. So anyway, I cut the tops off, and it's just like page protectors, you know, just like making little page protectors for them. And I was going to tell you to, as a hint, when you're punching holes, and I use my Big Bite to do the holes, I will clip the bags together. So I'll clip a bunch of them together, top and bottom, with the clips like this. Just do a bunch of them together, and then punch your holes through a whole bunch of them at the same time. Keep them clipped and thread them on your wires, on your binding rings. Yeah, so that is the easiest way. One by one, no. No worky. It's too difficult. But you can see cutting off the tops of most of the Ziploc bags have made this close because it wasn't closing. And yeah, they're a little slippy because it is plastic, and anything like that is going to be slippy. But they're not going to go anywhere because, you know, I've got these rings on them. So I can hang it up like this if I wanted to, and nothing's going to come out. Of course, you don't hang it upside down, or else all your stencils will fall out, but you get the idea. Okay, so carrying on. Here, let's use the front of this one. So I'm going to put a heart, say, on the front of this little book. Okay, so I'm going to center my heart right here, and I'm going to get my smallest. This is the S. I've got the S and the F. I don't know what the difference is, but one is smaller, so the S is smaller. I don't know if it's called Superfine or what. It doesn't really say on here. Probably does on their website somewhere, or maybe on the package. I don't know. Anyway, so all I'm basically going to do is, you know, trace through this and get this on here. Now, this one also has, well, it's got 4 different hearts. This one does. It has 4 different hearts. So what I'm going to do right now, though, is use a different stencil on top. So I'm going to put this one on here, and I'm going to do the outline. I'm going to do the outline with the fatter one, I think. Of course, you can color the tag. You don't have to leave it like this. You can color the tag. Gotta hold my tongue just right. Okay, so there's my heart. Now I'm going to get a totally different stencil. Provided I can find. And if you don't have stencils, here you can do something like this. So let me pick something out of here. Oh, let's do that one. Just open to it, right to it. Let's do this one. This is a Crafter's Workshop, but it's Rhonda Palazzari design. Okay, so I'm just going to pick that up right out of there. And look, guys, fold your book back. See? So you know where it goes. You don't have to hunt. Alternatively, you could stick a Post-it note on the baggie, whatever, you know. Okay, so that was also a stencil, by the way. All right, so what you could do is, ooh, that's cool. Let's do this right here, and I'm going to do it with the smaller one. I don't normally leave my pens open, but I'm going to be going back and forth, so yes, I will leave them open this time. Okay, so inside your heart lines, now you got to pay attention. You see your heart lines, okay? And yes, I did buy stencils. The heart is one I got yesterday. I'll try to show you some more of them in a minute, but let's go ahead and do the project. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trace inside here. Try not to mess up and stay within your heart outline. You kind of got to pay attention. And like I said, I got to hold my tongue right, so I'm going to be quiet for a minute. I was dreaming about doing this last night. That was weird. I already knew I was going to do it. I just was dreaming about what all I could do. Of course, it helped that I got all the stuff out before I went to bed, so I guess I had it all in my head, and it came to light. And this is a fiddly stencil, which is fine because I like detail. And I can give you the numbers off this stencil if you really want it. But I'm sure going online you could find it without too much problem. But it's very fiddly. Of course, you don't have to do the whole stencil. You know, let's do that side and then match it over here and not do the center. We'll do the center something else. How about that? Since I already did that little triangle and this little triangle, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I did this. And I did this. And then we're going to put something else in the middle. And I thought it would be fun, instead of just doing tangles, just to doodle with the stencil like this. This stencil fits in here really well. Amazing. A little time consuming, but hey, that's what we do, right? Almost done. Stay within the heart, or whatever shape you put there. Okay, I think I've got it. There we go. See, isn't that cool? Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so instead of putting a doodle, here's another suggestion, provided I can find them. Hang on. I just set those down. I had some photographs. Let's see. What did I do with them? Here they are. Here we go. Okay, so what you could do is, this is a gel medium transfer. So I think what I'm going to do is cut her silhouette out and put it there. Make sure I stay in the camera there. And I'm just going to give her some hair on this side. Now, I don't know what to do about the middle. Hang on, I got to fit her in there. Okay, so I'm going to put her in there like this, and then I'm going to take a pencil. Then I'm going to follow the heart with the pencil And let me cut that now. Make sure I cut the pencil off, because I don't really want to see that. Okay, let's see how well I did. Alright, she's going to fit right down in there. That's pretty well. I could have got a little closer, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so this would be the cover for a little book. With the little girlie in there. I'm not going to glue it down because I want to fix that over here. And I need to do something right there too. So I could put some more doodles on the top and the bottom, or fill it in, or whatever. But I think I want to paint it before I glue her down. But she's going to go right there, and then that will be the cover for the little book. So fun! Fun, fun! Alright, so speaking of pictures, alright. Let me clear this up. It makes me anxious if I have too much trash sitting on the desk. Okay, so this is a piece of scrapbook paper that was a kit that I got. It came in as a set a long time ago. I can't remember, you know, who even put it out. I don't remember. But I have all these pictures, and I thought, what am I going to do with this? You know, because I ran across it because I was looking for her face. And I ran across this in the same pile. So, what I was thinking, let me change pens. I want the small one. Ooh, what if I do a white one? Ooh, let's do a white pen. Okay, this is a Uniball Signo. So what if, hello guy, what if you doodle on this? Okay. So let's just doodle on the background of a photograph. And of course it's not a real photograph, it's a copy. This is probably a laser print since it was in the kit. But you get the idea with this too. How you can just make something so simple and just start decorating it. And on the lighter ones, and I'll finish these up later, but on the lighter ones you can take your black pen and you can also do things. So let's do like something's dangling on the wall behind her. Let's decorate that wallpaper. It's too boring. We're going to decorate the wallpaper. So just start at an appropriate place. And you know, you could always switch to a white pen if you wanted to when it got to a dark spot. That would be perfectly fine. I'm going to dot the floor too. So then I'm going to just alternate where the heart was. Like so. And don't forget to go behind. And here's like the bottom of the heart there. And like I said, you could always switch to a white pen when you got to a dark area. But you can see how you can decorate photographs. So don't do it on the slick photograph because I don't think it's going to work. I would make a copy, you know, scan it and print it out, or you know, go to Kinko's or something and do your copies. But there's another idea for you, and these can go in your art journal as well. These were sort of failed attempts at transfers, but you could do, you know, you could do a transfer and do the same kind of thing. Okay, so there's that. Let's see, what else can we do? Okay, if you've got like regular scrapbook paper, this is just regular scrapbook paper. This is a thin variety, single-sided. All right. You can also do doodles right on top of it. Okay. This one, you just, you know, start doing something in the corner. This one is following the marbling on this paper. So I've just taken my Signo and started where, oh, hello, wake up. started where there's like a big pattern area, follow it around, and then fill in on the inside, following some of the lines that are on the inside, the marbling lines. And you just keep doing that. And this is something, you know, this is easy, no paint involved. If you want something, you know, quick, something clean, you know, just do whatever. This one, you just keep going. This, I think the tangle is called anti-dots, if I'm not mistaken. Let me anti-dots, yeah, right there. Anti-dots. I don't know how close that's going to get for you, but yeah, that one right there. Anti-dots. So it's pretty straightforward tangle. And one thing about these pens, don't move too fast. You got to give the ink time to flow. This is a rather large version of anti-dots, but larger than I usually like to go, but that's okay. But you get the idea. You can just take scrapbook paper and just start following your lines. You can take something that you've already done, you know, and just start doodling on it. You don't have to do a shape. Just start doodling, and you can, you know, figure out what you're going to do with it later. So there's another idea. Let's see what else we can find. All right, we've done the shapes, done the squares, done the tag, showed you the background. Oh, there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Okay, this is kind of a rabbit trail, but I got to show you this before I forget. I have to show you this. This is just too cool to not show you. Okay, so I've got a tray with stuff on it. Okay, I'm going to, well, no, I guess it'll be okay. I'm not going to back up. I was going to back up. I'm not going to. Okay, so you know how all of those dauber things that you buy, the sponge daubers, you know, these gizmos, all these things you buy, they're so expensive. Okay, so expensive. So I started thinking what else to do. And so I started looking on the internet. Of course, you do that first. Because I didn't have any ideas other than using a clothespin with a wedge sponge. So you take one of the makeup wedges, you fold it over, and you use it. When that side's dirty, you can flip it over and use the other side. So you get at least 2 uses out of the sponge. Okay. So that's what I was doing. All right. I was using those. And then I saw this brilliant lady. All right. She came up with this idea. All of the water bottles and soda bottles that I use in here, I use for water containers or I use for dust covers. So I use this part for the dust cover and for the water. Okay. And I would always throw away this part of the bottle. I hated to do it. And I wouldn't throw it away. I'd put it in a recycle bin, but you know what I mean. You get rid of it. And I was thinking, oh man, I wish I could do something with those. Aha. This lady has come to my rescue. And if you like, you can ask me on Twitter later for her YouTube, and I will put that out there. I can't even remember her name right now. I'm sorry. I would sure give her credit. And when I put this up on YouTube, I will link to her in the where you put the writing part down there. I don't know what you call that space. But anyway, so here's what she has done. She has taken the water bottle and made perfect use of the cap for the dauber sponge. Now let me explain how she did it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so you take the top off of your water bottle and you take your I want to use my Timmy scissors, and you're going to trim, and you're going to trim, and sometimes you have to go around and around to get there, and that's okay because it gets it out of the way. But you're going to trim all the excess plastic off and make a mess. But that's okay. Excuse my sniffing. I have a little sinus problem. Allergies abound in this area. And it gets a little tough to do this part because this is a Coca-Cola bottle, and they're a lot tougher than the water bottles. The plastic is thicker in general than the water bottle. So I'm going to leave, I don't think I can cut any more off of that, so I'm going to leave that there. So what she did was, this is a spongy makeup sponge. It's the foamy one, okay? Yeah, it's just the foamy one. Oh, let me see if I can allow links. Hold on a second. Let me see, allow links. Okay, go ahead and put the link in there, Jamie. That'd be awesome. Oh, I thought you said, oh, sorry. Never mind. If anybody has the link, go ahead and put it in there. But I went ahead and opened links, so y'all can link stuff if you want. But yeah, this is the round ones from the dollar store. Yeah, this was just Studio Basics, I don't know, but there's a dozen in the package. But it's the round ones, and they're about a 1/4 inch thick. And so what she did was she crammed it up in here, and she took the end of a Sharpie and stuck it on the Sharpie and crammed it in there. Well, I have a little bit of an improvement on that. Make it easier. Never mind the Sharpie. You fold it in half, you 1/4 it, and you're squeezing it the whole time. Squeeze it together, and then you're putting it from the bottom of the bottle, say, toward the top, okay? Because that's the, no, the other way. I'm sorry, it's the other way. From the top of the bottle, like toward the bottom. This is the way. Because you want your cap to be your handle. You want that to be on the end. She is, oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. But I will link that, since I'm going to put this up on YouTube, I'll link it in YouTube. Okay, so you want that to be your bottom, so you're going to push it in there, and see how nicely it goes in? You don't really need the Sharpie, and you want to just stick your thumb in there, and you got a nice round, trying to stay in the camera, you get a nice rounded area. Now you want to be careful of these sharp edges, and she'll tell you that too. She says to file them down or something, and you can do that. And then you put the cap on, and there's your handle, so you have a really nice dauber. Now, I have found when you're using this from the Coca-Cola bottle, there's a lot of space left in here. So what I would suggest, so it doesn't fall back through, is take some paper out of your scrap bin. Okay, my scrap bin is empty. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel. Okay. I've already used this paper towel. It's now an art thing. So I'm just going to scrunch up a piece of paper towel. So it takes up that space. So when you're pouncing on it, you're not losing your sponge. You just fill it in. Then you can pounce as hard as you want, and your sponge tip isn't going to go anywhere. Isn't that cool? She is so brilliant. I mean, that's just such a brilliant idea. I love that. And now I have a use for all of these parts that I cut off. That's just so awesome. I just love that idea. If I could remember, I would praise her up and down. She's just brilliant. But I will link that at the bottom of the video. But that is just so cool. That's the best idea I have ever seen for making a sponge dauber. It's brilliant. It's not only is it larger, you have a much larger area to use. It's easier to hold because you've got a bigger grip on it. Even see, the ones in the water bottle aren't quite as big, but that's okay. You can make any size you have. But that's just brilliant. That is just totally brilliant. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. But I wanted to share that with you guys. It's just, it was amazing. I just, got so excited. I love to make use of things I normally throw out. Of course, you guys know that already. Okay. Yay! All right, so that was just, I had to tell you before I forgot. That would have been bad. Oh, and while I'm moving my trays around, I need this one. Okay, off that rabbit trail, back to back to tangling. All right, and doodling. Okay. I've got these dies here from, well, let me turn it over and you can see. Okay. They're Spellbinders dies. Okay. These are put out by Heartfelt Creations. This is called Delicate Asters. All right. So I have these, and it has leaves. It has the little flowers. Okay. So what I was doing with this was, you want to cut, just taking a scrap of cardstock, okay, you want to cut out one of the flowers, and I've got the biggest one here. All right, you cut out the flower, and there's other sizes as well. But what you can do is, and I've already done it here, let me move the tray, it'll be easier. Put that over on the side there so you can see. Okay, so what I've done is I took the die and I laid it down and I traced it. Okay, traced around the outside. Okay, and so when I cut it, what I have is a stencil and a mask. Okay, and Julie's been teaching us about stencils and masks, right? Okay, so before you move your parts, okay, so before you move that, make registration lines. Okay, because when you want to use the mask, you're going to need the registration lines to line this up. And you can do that with any stencil like this. Okay, so the die itself, okay, you trace around. Then you take the die cut. I can get it out of there now. All right, you take the die cut, and this part. This is what you want. The stencil part. Okay, this is the mask. This is the stencil. Okay, so you take the stencil part and you're going to lay that down, and then you're going to take your ink and your dauber, and I used, what did I use for this one? This color is probably, it's probably Barn Door. It was Distress ink. I think it was Barn Door. And then I used Aged Mahogany on the second one. Okay, so yeah. So Barn Door and Aged Mahogany. Am I still upside down? No, that one's upside down. This one is not. There. I'll get it right in a minute. So those two colors. Okay. I'll get it in a minute. I have labels. I mean, geez. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so you take the stencil and you're going to sponge through your stencil part, okay, and then you take your mask, and let me see if I can turn around that the right way. Anyway, you want to line up where you were, so you kind of keep track of where you were. Okay, so then you lay your mask down, and then you're going to lay the stencil down again, and you want to offset it so that it looks like the flower that you're putting on now is behind the other one. Okay, you get the idea there. All right. So, and then you sponge through that one, and you've covered your mask, and so when you take them off, it looks like the other one's behind it. Now, I got a little off, as you can see, but that's okay. That can be put in as a shadow with a marker or something, or charcoal, or whatever you're going to do. Anyway, what you do at this point is, now you take your pens again, and then you start doing your doodling inside your flower. So you can do this, you can do circles. Now you guys can see, right? I don't know if this was the exact pen I was using, but anyway, it is now. But you get the idea. You can decorate your petals, you decorate the center, you can put a button in the center, you know, whatever you want to do. And then you would proceed to keep doodling until you got your whole, you know, your whole flower. And then what you could do is, let me see if I can get the leaf die off of the card. I haven't even used the leaf yet. If I can get it off of here. I've got that double stick tape and it's really stuck. There we go. And I keep cookie sheets. Okay, I have, they're small. See, they're small cookie sheets. Got these at the dollar store. And they stack. You can alternate stack them, or you can just stack them, you know, into each other if you want to. Sometimes I have a piece of plexiglass over the top to separate things. And I think I've showed you guys that on a video a long time ago. Okay, anyway, now I want to put like a stem and a leaf. So I'm going to do, okay, this is the pit brush tip. Okay, so I'm going to use the brush tip. And I'm just going to start doing, say this was on my page, okay. And you could use a color, you could use green, you know, whatever you want to do, doesn't really matter. Anyway, the idea is to trace around your leaf. Okay, so I'm going to have a leaf system. Let me do like this. All right, so I'm going to have a leaf. So I'm just going to trace around the outside of the die itself. To begin with, and then you would cut your cardstock to make your mask and your stencil. Okay, so here you see, you get the idea, all right, and then you would take your die cut and you put it in the center, and you do the same thing, okay, so that you did with the flower. So you get the idea of how that would go, all right. So that's another idea for you, just another way to use your die cut machine and your dies, further use your dies. So, I mean, you can do, you know, anything with these things. Anything. Punches, dies, whatever. Okay, let's see. Let me stick my cube back over here for a minute while I move this stuff. Transfer everything back over there. I have to stack it back up. There's nowhere to put it. If I start putting stuff on the floor, I'd really be in trouble over here. I got stuff on the floor over there already. But that's a mess. Okay, so here's another idea. And I showed this at the retreat that we had last year. God, I can't believe it's almost been a year. Gee. But this is the Tim Holtz die. That's the... Wait, I'm trying to find it. I thought I had it ready. I moved it. Oh, no. Hang on, guys. Try to find it. Oh, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. That's not it. Yes, it is. Okay. They didn't put the side label on correctly for my stash. Okay, so let me move that box there. But this is the, let me see, how do I get it in here? This is the die for the star. Okay, this is the die for the star. Okay, so what I've done, oh, here's the cut one right there. There we go. And it puts, let me see if I can get it where you can see the, yeah, see the embossed lines? Okay, it has the embossed lines. And this is called Star Bright 3D, number 658265, and it's a Tim Holtz Sizzix. Okay, so usually 2 sizes of stars. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I cut the tabs off of this one because this is my sample, and the tabs were getting in my way, so I moved them. Let me get, I got to run across the room just for a second to get something else that's hanging up. I have things hanging across the front of my closet. So my idea was I took this is scrapbook paper, okay? Both sides of this is scrapbook paper. However, it gave me the idea to do tangling and doodling on the star and put it together. Now what I've done is, instead of putting it together with the tab, so you take the tab and you fold it to the inside, you know, and then you glue the 2 halves together with the tabs on the inside. Well, that's difficult to do, okay? It's a pain. I don't like doing that. So then I thought, well, let's do it where the tab is on the outside and it becomes a part of the decoration. So you can see here that the paper from the other side is peeking onto the paper on this side, and then vice versa on this, on this one. So when I put it together, I overlapped on the outside. And I like that goes together so much nicer. Yeah, this just works so much better. Goes together so much nicer when you do it that way. But do your doodling, on your star, leaving your tabs on. You can move them out of the way if you want, while you're working. But and I cut this out of the Bristol. This is out of the Bristol. But do your doodling on your star, and then put them together and overlap the edges so you're getting different designs. Okay, so do your design on this part and then bring your flaps back up and do a design on those, or just leave it there and do it, whatever you want to do. But this is your goal. So you want to make two-sided star, so your pattern, you get a bit of the pattern on both sides. And I make one dark and one light. That's just the way I roll. But that is a lot of fun. And you do it just like you were doing, when you're doing your design, you do it just as if you were doing a circle or a mandala. And there are YouTube videos on mandalas that people show you how to do it. There's a really good one where she shows freehand. I mean, you're not measuring anything. It's just doing freehand. And that's what I did with this one. It's just freehand. But she grows it from the center. I know you guys have seen this, where she grows it from the center. And it's really awesome. I can't remember her name either. Oy, brain, hello. So anyway, that is my presentation for today. Does anybody have any questions? And I will wait for a response. And this is my sketchbook here. This one I'm looking at what the founders of Zentangling, what Maria usually does. And she did some borders on her edges of her book, and I love that. I love that. And what I'm trying to do, you can't see the other side, I'm trying to write the names of the tangles when I'm doing them. I'm trying to write the names of the tangles. And it just helps me remember. See, this has the list on the other side. This one's not done yet. And of course, that's not done yet. But you get the idea. I just took one of the, oh, now where did that one go? Here it is. I just took one of the squares and just traced it. Easy peasy. I love this, Pays. I love that one, P-A-I-S. I love it. And of course, yes, I have designed my own. Have not published them. Well, yeah, I did. I put one on my blog. These are just some ideas. And this is one of mine. But I take this book with me, and this is just going to be, I saw someone do this. She took she started with this and she did the whole page. I thought, oh, that's awesome. so I got that one started, so I've got a place to go there. I've got a cat, outline of a cat, a butterfly. This is just a ribbon and just doing whatever. That's mine as well. There's another one going there. I saw somebody do this. They put their hand down, and then to make it look dimensional, they've curved the lines over where the fingers and the hand is. That's cool. I'm not done with that, but that's a really cool thing. You're supposed to put the lines really close together. So if you start out and you space them so that you've got it spaced right, then you go and fill in. It's much easier than trying to do all the little tiny lines at once. You get off somehow. So if you space it and then go back and fill in some more, and then fill in some more, and then fill in some more till you get it all done. It's cool. practicing graphite. That's what I was practicing. And there's not too much else in here right now. But anyhow, that's my Tangle sketchbook. No questions? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. I know I'm getting off a little bit early, but that's okay. Sometimes I just run out of stuff to do. So, you know, that's what happens. So have a long lunch. Barb comes on in about an hour and a half, I think, something like that. And like I said, I'm going to put these up on YouTube, and this video will go up there, and I will put the links to the sponge dauber lady, and so y'all can find her. Ah, she's brilliant. That was just so brilliant. Can't tell you. Alright, so I will see you guys around the net, and I'll hopefully see you at Barb's at 1 o'clock. Okay, thanks for hanging out. Bye, guys.